here. Hello, this is a AutoBuild ownership move meeting. With me today, we have Dima, Timo, and Joao. Thanks everyone for joining. And the goal of this meeting is to walk through the AutoBuild image project and know more about it. So on the agenda, the first point is the overall architecture and perhaps a small emphasis on those three files. If I understood correctly, that's the core of the issue of the project. So can one of you, I don't know, perhaps share the screen or present the overall architecture, or if one of you wants to try this.
You want to do it, or do I do it, Timo? What do you prefer?
It will be cool if you can do it. It's a struggle right now.
Okay. I see a small head there on your lap. Yeah. Okay, so sharing my screen. So AutoBuild is a main component of AutoDevOps. And it's like AutoDevOps is a feature of GitLab, which tries to detect all your code and deploy your application to a cluster. And it's the first stage of AutoDevOps. So AutoDevOps to create a pipeline for you with several stages: build, test, deploy, and secure. And it will have like multiple jobs running on this pipeline. And the first stage will be build. And it's like aided by this AutoBuild template, right? And this, where is this? So this is basically, if you go to the GitLab monolith, and you have here auto DevOps, or is it DevOps? No, sorry, jobs, DevOps deploy. I've been away from this for a while. So the main entry point, so you have a build template here, which is the one we're going to talk about the most, but I just want to show you where it's called from. Deploy. Did we change the name? Timo, do you remember what's the AutoDevOps template name? Or I can just search for build, maybe.
I thought it's build, yeah.
The build is the build one, but it's being triggered by the AutoDevOps one, right?
I don't know what the name is.
I think it's here.
It's one of these projects where, we don't have to do much.
Yeah. Wow. So I think it's this one, AutoDevOps here.
We see the browser documentation.
Yeah, we are on the handbook page.
Sorry. Let me stop sharing then. And reshare. I don't know why it broke into different, they are like on the same desktop. Okay. So this is the build template within the GitLab project. Under GitLab CI template, jobs build template. So this is like a built-in template. And this is being called within the AutoDevOps, I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. So this is the AutoDevOps template. This, I believe it's enabled by default on your project. If you have like a Docker file, stuff like this, and it will trigger, or you can trigger it on CI settings of your project, or you can include this template like manually by saying something like include, and then specify the path like this file here, right? On your GitLab CI.yaml file. And this will include the whole AutoDevOps chunk of pipelines that we have documented on this. Then you don't see the Chrome, right? When I auto tab, you see the Chrome now? Do you?
No.
Okay, so wait a minute. Okay, really don't know what's going on. Can I change screens within the Zoom menu?
I have no idea. Perhaps stop sharing and sharing again might be the most efficient way.
But what if I need to come back again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I would try to go more like on the browser, then we can look for things instead of going through editor and browser. Okay. So yeah, so that template is including all of those jobs that we define on this documentation page, topics, auto DevOps. Auto build was the first one. So let's open the code from here then. And auto build or jobs build. Yeah, this one. There is a latest. So we try to keep like stable changes on this template, and breaking changes we would add to latest if anything happens. And on the major version, you can then just like override this template with this one, considering that you have deprecated breaking changes or anything like this. But most of the time, this would be like an exact copy of this one, unless you really want to introduce a breaking change. Things you don't consider a breaking change, we would just like feel free and like update on this template, like a new feature or something like that. So what does this template do? First, it defines the auto build image version here, which is 430. And this is like for flexibility. If someone wants to revert the version, let's say we deploy the version, new version, we've updated, bumped this version on GitLab, gitlab.com, it broke something. We can ask someone like the admin, like on gitlab.com to like GitLab.com wide change this variable, and it would like work like as a feature flag or something. This was like the main purpose of this. But it ends up also being like a useful tool for, I don't know, self-managed, or anyone that wants to just include this template. This would also be possible, right? It's built in with GitLab. So one doesn't need to include the whole auto DevOps template, but they can include just this template on their GitLab CI YAML. They can specify this variable to choose a certain image version. And this image version is the image that is built by the project that we are handing over, which is the AutoBuild Image project. That's at the end of the day, that's where it's being used. It's only being used here. So we build an image so that this template can consume on the GitLab monolith. And what does it do? It basically will run a script, which is this one, which is built within the image. And this script, we will look into it, but it will basically try to detect if you have a Docker file or if you have cloud native build pack configuration files, then it will build your project based on one of those two, either with like Docker buildx or with build pack, the pack CLI from cloud native build packs. Anything interesting to mention here? Let's see. Let me see. I don't quite remember what those are for. I think this here is for the forward variables feature, which is this one, I think. It's a way for you to specify CI variables in your GitLab project that you can forward to your build time. Yeah, and the build artifact, please create a build artifact job into your GitLab, send more information. I don't quite remember what is this for? Because this is supposed already to build and push your image to your registry. That's kind of how it works. Do you have any comments on this file, Timo?
Are you just like the line 24 you mentioned? Or were you wondering what this is for? Because I think it's just to forward variable that have been set during build. Like you can identify the image name that has been built and stuff like this. So CI application repository, application tag, I think is inside of this. So then this file gets, the env variables get injected into like later stages. I think that's what it's for.
Okay. And so let's go to the AutoBuild Image project, which is building the image. So yeah, so this folder here is the most important one. And this file is the most important one. It's where the heart of the project is, where we call in from the template. So let's see, like it has some features that were integrated across years, like support for the dependency proxy. But the main part of it is detecting if Docker files present, like I was saying, this is what's going to trigger it. I think so. We still use there is some changes here to come, I think, related to Heroku Builder, which is one of the tools that we use to detect which language or code you have there. If it's if it's Rails or if it's Python, then it will detect and build the thing for you. And this is one of the important points to touch on because I think this will change soon. Yeah. So we were using this one, but there are breaking changes. Is that correct, Timo? That will be updated? Or
Yeah,
we just leaving it off because we don't want to use it anymore?
So there is, if you go back, there is I think an issue from Ed Morley, who's a employee at Heroku, and he's kind enough to trigger us usually if there's like a breaking change or notable updates. So here, that's one we have to do in the next major milestone. So you have to update the builder image, which usually they just change the underlying distribution, like from one Ubuntu to another, which may introduce breaking changes. Yeah, I think the context is in here, and it's usually like the update is super simple. It's just changing the variable we've seen in this script before.
Yeah, I mean, like here, right? Change it to 24.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and here it's also an important concept. So by default, your image will be exposing port 5000. So this means for users that will connect like an application, we expect them by default to have their application listening on 5000. Otherwise, they can customize. And yeah, and this is like that thing we talk about. PAC is the CLI, the Cloud Native Build. Build pack CLI that is used to pack, build projects with Cloud Native build packs. Then yeah, this is one thing you would have to get acquainted to and do some dive here. Do a tutorial, see how you can build applications with Cloud Native build pack, which files are needed, and this kind of things, which manifests. Yeah, and the other option is like is just calling, and you see it will also like tag the image, push the image after it's built. And this is the other case, I believe. So if the build pack files, if a Docker file is detected, then you would like to run the docker buildx command instead to build your Docker file, which will also build and push. Yeah. Like this is the basics of it. You see like there are a lot of arguments here and like auxiliary features that one could use. But the main core of it is that I believe this like auxiliary features, they are all documented either in customized AutoDevOps page. You can customize build packs or custom Docker files. So this is all related to that, things you can do with that script. And also the AutoBuild section of the AutoDevOps stages. Need to explain here the features that are available there. Yeah, this is another point important to know. Like Autotest uses Heroku-ish as a test suite. Detection is not yet part of Cloud Native Build Pack specification. I think this might be the only reason why we were keeping Heroku-ish around, is because there is also auto testing after AutoBuild, but it requires Heroku-ish. But the idea was at some point to completely get rid of Heroku-ish and support only build packs, cloud native build packs. And this issue is closed. Yeah, in favor of this. Yeah, so the direction is like trying to figure out some solution with cloud native build packs to support auto test. Yeah. But this is a bigger effort for sure. So we keep supporting Heroku-ish because of this for now. What else can we touch, which is important? So let's go back to the root of the project, AutoBuild. So we have what I think is a comprehensive set of tests for those features here. And you see tests that will test Heroku-ish. You see tests that test build packs in different test scenarios, like testing with Ruby, testing with Go. So it's basically like a small, do basically almost nothing application, like just listening to a server. And then we will have like a CI.yaml file, which will try to build this test application. Like if we go to GitLab CI, and then we have a separate test to run GitLab CI.yaml file, or not this one, this one. And yeah, we do have shell check for the script. And then we have like those, you see, test Docker file, test with Docker file using build kit. This will all be kind of, as you see, like moving the directory to those some of those test scenarios. Those folders are test scenarios. And we'll call the script over those directories, which will detect the files that are there and it will build the file in different situations. So yeah, so that's how we test the application. We create CI test for it. So create, if you want to create another CI test, you would go to those the test directory, create another small application there, just copy and paste. And most of the tests that we do, it's like related to, just add another variable, which will trigger different behavior in the AutoBuild process. So yeah, so you can use that to set up different features within that script, all controlled with like variables. Let me give you room for questions because we only have 3 minutes left, maybe. But that's the gist of it, I would say. So the most important thing, the rest, there's not much more. I think most of the rest is well documented. Release. Maybe we talk about release. You want to talk about release?
Yeah, I guess we can. It was one of the things. Yeah, we can go over. Although I guess
Okay.
it's pretty much automated if I understood it correctly, but
yeah, it will be based on commit messages. Yeah, like using conventional commits, documentation is here for it. So as long as you have, and the higher level of commit you add, the higher the version will be. So if you have a fit between your commits, a minor version will be bumped. It will ignore the fix if you have a fix. If you have a breaking change, then it will create a major, and it will just bump, well, on the pipelines, you see, these are the scheduled ones. We have a release one. So yeah, okay. So publish dry run, it will basically use the semantic version release gem. There is a GitLab semantic release npm, not a gem, it's an npm package, sorry. And this will create a tag, and the tag, we can show it on the GitLab CI YAML. Sorry. Oh, there was their release. Release. So only on commit tags, we would like, the tag will be created with that semantic version control, with that name, and then it would create the CI commit tag. It would copy an image with that tag. That's basically what it does. So semantic release will push the tag, and based on the command semantic versioning commits, and then it will create the tag. And then we have a renovate bot configuration for AutoBuild and GitLab. Which will detect changes. I think this is even the one, the file for AutoBuild only, to update like Docker version, buildx. You will see like renovate creating a Mars to bump the pack version, Docker, and all that. And you will see renovate bumping the version for, I think it's in the GitLab file. Do you remember the file name, Timo?
No.
There is a file which is like more for all the projects, everything that's we update on GitLab. And what it will do, it will like, once it will detect that a new version has been released on AutoBuild Image, and it will push an update here. So you will get a review request for this too. Yeah, so maybe questions if you want to close up, because we are at 11:26.
yeah, I will have to end the meeting. I guess we can keep this as part one.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I can schedule part two with a bit
Sounds
more
good.
time this time around. This way,
Sounds good.
we will have more time. If that
good.
is okay for everyone.
Sounds fair. Thanks.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
many thanks, and well, see you
Thank you.
in part two. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.